First, the top news headlines. Manipur Human Rights Commission issued notice to government to clarify whether extension of disturbed area status issued on that back or why issued 1 month late. Bombs explode at homes of 2 intending candidates at different places last night. India records 1.94 lakh new COVID-19 cases with 442 deaths in last 24 hours. Omicron cases reach 4,868. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the Mami TV English News Bulletin. I'm Albina Riamai. Manipur Human Rights Commission (MHRC) has sent a notice to the Chief Secretary of Manipur, Special Secretary Home and the Commissioner of Law Government of Manipur to clarify on the delayed announcement on extension of disturbed area status in the state by February 2, 2022. The MHRC also questioned why the state government announced its decision to extend the disturbed area status after more than a month, though the notification was issued on December 8, 2021. Addressing a press meet held today at the courtroom of MHRC, Acting Chairperson of the Commission, Mami said there has been some tension among the extension of disturbed area status in the state. It is matter of confusion whether the announcement was made after dating back the other date following the declaration of Model Code of Conduct in the state on January 8. Stating that the author has direct connection to the law and order of the state, he questioned as to why the people were not made aware of the order if it was issued on December 8 last year. The acting chairperson of MHRC accused the state government of violating right to know fundamental right of the people. Mani added that questions such as whether the law and order of the state was in dire condition during January 1 to December 31, 2021, and did the government follow the rules to review the disturbed area status every 6 months can be raised. As such, the Commission has sent a Somoto case against the Chief Secretary of Manipur, Special Secretary Home and Law Commissioner, Government of Manipur by February 2, 2022, he said.
Locally basically matungina nakalagadi sporting college kami natalagadi police ke report to hayang mahobang ngaigini hayang tangtaro umdoy nito mi komi manunda report pero ona DJP da haigini aduna maduda mehat pasengdu tu na phana na ba investigation di langlalan se karmai tawri adigi intelligence network sina kamdawi Haiti Hero Kisnate Makum Rana Kino, Hybrid Single Mayam say person to Raga, Penalty Raga, Lake Manu Sida, Human Rights Commissioner, Interim Compensation in Anaba, Matota Sindo, Equipment Canada.
Poll-related violence rises in the state as the 12th Manipur State Legislative Assembly elections draw nearer. Bomb explosion incidents were reported at the residence of 2 intending candidates of different constituencies in the upcoming elections in the wee hour this morning. According to reports culled by media, a bomb suspected to be an IED planted by unknown miscreants exploded at the gate of the residence of Congress intending candidate of Khurai Assembly constituency, Khurai Ratan Kumar, at Kangla Sung around 3 this morning. No casualty was reported in the blast. However, the windows of Sangoi inside Ratan Kumar's residential complex were destroyed. Besides, windshield of traveler vehicle parked near the gate, parts of the gate and other properties were damaged in the blast. The IED is suspected to have been planted near his gate. No one has claimed responsibility for the blast. On the other hand, amid the protests of irate locals against the killing of 2 persons, including an active worker of Agriculture Minister Olukhoy at Samurao Wangleikai in Wangoi Assembly constituency, on January 9, a bomb exploded at the residence of intending candidate of the constituency, Salam Joy, at Samurao Naurem Chaprao around 2:30 last night. The reason behind the bomb attack at the resident of Salam Joy, who fought the by-election in the constituency on Congress ticket in 2020, is yet to be ascertained. India recorded 1.94 lakh new COVID-19 cases with 442 deaths in the last 24 hours, taking the total tally of COVID-19 cases in India to 3.60 crore. The active cases rose to 9.55 lakh, the highest in 209 days, while the death count climbed to 4.84 lakh. The active cases comprise 2.65% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate decreased to 96.01%, the ministry said. An increase of 1.33 lakh active cases has been recorded in a span of 24 hours. With 60,405 patients having recovered in the last 24 hours, the cumulative tally of recovered patients stood at 3.46 crore. So far, with the administration of over 85 lakh vaccine doses in the last 24 hours, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 153.80 crore. Meanwhile, India also recorded 4,868 cases of the Omicron variant today, with 1,805 recoveries. In other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated that over 2 crore children in the age group 15 to 18 years have been vaccinated against COVID-19 so far. He lauded the sense of responsibility of the country's youth and said it has manifested in the quick pace of vaccination. The drive to inoculate teenagers had begun on January 3. An official of Chief Electoral Office Manipur has stated that a reinforcement of 300 companies of Central Paramilitary Forces would be required for peaceful conduct of the 12th Manipur State Legislative Assembly elections. The official further said that around 300 heavy vehicles would be needed for transportation of the security personnel of the Central Paramilitary Forces. Besides, around 6,588 vehicles would also be required for the smooth conduct of the elections. The officials also added that authorities concerned of 763 polling stations of different districts where violence are expected have also been directed to take up necessary measures. On the other hand, the Ministry of Home Affairs in an official communication has notified that more than 65,000 Central Armed Force personnel will be deployed ahead of the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states, including Manipur. Security forces have been instructed to strictly adhere to standard operating procedure (SOPs), strengthen the security grid at sensitive and hypersensitive polling booths to avoid any untoward incidents. The ministry has also advised authorities concerned of the states to invoke Section 144 of the CRPC. The order restricts unlawful assembly and movement, holding of public meetings, carrying of weapons, sticks, banners and placards. Narcotic cell Jiribam district seized 38.56 gram of brown sugar from 3 persons at Jiribam. According to police sources, a team of narcotic cell Jiribam district under the supervision of Superintendent of Police Jiribam KSH Ravi Kumar Singh IPS conducted a frisking and checking operation of vehicles coming from Imphal to Jiribam. During the operation, they recovered 38.56 gram of brown sugar in plastic bottles and soap cases. The apprehended persons have been identified as Maibam Roger Meitei, age 38, son of M. Pongocha Meitei of Leipom Kunau Mamang Lekai, Moirangthem Nauba Meitei, age 25, son of late M. Tanubabu Meitei of Lengang Pokpi village, and Arambam Jamuna, age 43, wife of Maibam Roger Meitei of Lengang Pokpi in Jiribam district. The 3 apprehended persons were handed over to Jiribam police station for further legal investigation. Ahead of the upcoming Manipur State Assembly elections, 7 new intending candidates today joined Janata Dal United JDU. President of JDU State Unit, Hangkhanpao Taitul, expressed confidence that the party will take active participation in forming the next government. The political party organized a reception program for the new entrants to the party from Kumbi, Pungyar, Hanglep, Chandel, Segmai, Thanlon and Saikot Assembly constituencies at the office of JDU Manipur State Unit at Hodam Leirak Machin on Tidim Road. Speaking on the occasion, President of JDU State Unit Hang Kan-pao said with the new addition to the party, the goal for nominating candidates in 15 assembly constituencies in the upcoming general elections has been achieved. He said there is possibility of 10 new intending candidates to the party. As per the current situation of the party, they are sure that about 60% of the candidates will emerge victorious in the election. JDU will take active part in the formation of the new government, he asserted, stating that the 12-point manifesto of JDU will be converted into action if their dreams come true. Hang Kalian said that the party will give it first priority to repealing of APSPA from Manipur.
There may be different kinds of tribes, different dialect speaking, but our feeling is the same. Our facial appearance is the same. The same blood and the same Mongoloid stroke blood runs in our vein.
The awareness program on systematic voters education and electoral participation program organized by Manipur Youth Cultural Organization MYCO at different places of Kamjong District and Tengnoupal District concluded yesterday. According to a press release issued by Secretary of MYCO Ranjit Ningthauja, the program was organized under the supervision of Regional Outreach Bureau ROB Imphal Regional Center. The awareness program began on January 6. COVID-19 prevention kits, food and other items were presented to children and staff members of the Manipur Mahila Kalyan Samiti Children Home, Dulalan, on the occasion of 80th birthday of retired head of Zoology Department Modern College and life member of the home Ilangbam Ningol Laishram Ongbi Banabati today. Banabati and her family members also extended New Year's greetings and gave their best wishes to the children and staff members of the home on the occasion. Now we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Hello? May sibu kamay to bono? Amung mut, amung lak. Adom sana lay sibu kamay to bono ba?
Voter helpline 1950 da call tawbirak pagi thagajari kari khangbining balebi bagi.
Voter helpline. Aduna kam to ba?
Sigi helpline number sida voter service amasung election ga mari lainaba akupa marol sing phangbiba yagan.
Oh, yam nungajare. Ado karigum da hangjige matang sari ngasida.
Yani habiro.
Akhoi pabung se laigidaba chahi pharaka dore. Adubu hojik phawba magi maming se voter list adum yaw leiba. Masi kamai toraga kakthak da ki adu.
Yani ai harake.
Voter list ming anoba chanba ming thiba asoba semdokpa lepham hongba amadi atopa voter service amasung election ga mari leinaba akupa marol gi damak voter helpline number 1950 da ngasimak phone tobirau.
Yam nungajare mating pangbibagi. Ado kainomta ka aroi boina. Mai sibu kam kan lakadoino.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today expressed faith in the youth of the nation, said that the compete and conquer is the mantra of New India and the youth of the country has a can-do spirit which is a source of inspiration for every generation. India is entering the golden age of the startup ecosystem, boasting over 50,000 startups, out of which more than 10,000 startups were set up in the past 6 to 7 months amid the challenges posed by the COVID pandemic. Compete and conquer is the mantra of New India, the Prime Minister said after inaugurating Technology Center of the MSME Ministry and Peruntalaivar Kamarajar Mani Mandapam in Pondicherry through video conference. Prime Minister Modi also said that it is the government's effort to give youth the platform and infrastructure to develop the nation. Indian Army Chief General M.M. Naravan today said that despite partial disengagement along the line of actual LAC in Ladakh, the Chinese threat persists in the region. He said the Indian Army would deal with the Chinese People's Liberation Army PLA in a firm and resolute manner. General Naravan said this while addressing the annual Army Day press conference. He said the Indian Army had enhanced force levels in the areas where the military standoff began in 2020 and continued in 2022. There have been positive developments along our northern and western borders since January last year, he said. He further added that on northern borders, they have continued to maintain the highest level of operational preparedness while at the same time engaging with PLA through dialogue. Mentioning about the Nagaland firing incident, Indian Army Chief General Naravan said appropriate action would be taken and further corrections made in standard operating procedures after the completion of inquiry. He said the situation in the northeast was under control and that several army battalions were de-inducted, even as there was a plan to increase Assam Rifle battalions along the Indo-Myanmar border. After a gap of over 3 months, India and China held another round of high-level military talks to resolve the 20-month-long military standoff in the remaining friction points in eastern Ladakh, sources in the security establishment said. The 14th round of Corps commander-level talks are taking place at the Chushul-Moldo border point on the Chinese side of the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh, they said. The Indian delegation at the talks is being led by Lieutenant General Anindya Sengupta, the newly appointed commander of the Leh Base 14 Corps. The Chinese team was headed by South Xinjiang Military District Chief Major General Yang Lin. The Indian side is expected to insist on disengagement as soon as possible in all the remaining friction points. The fresh talks are taking place days after India hit out at China for building a bridge across Pangong Lake in eastern Ladakh and said it is in an area that has been under illegal occupation of that country for around 60 years. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. Manipur Human Rights Commission issues notice to government to clarify whether extension of disturbed area status issued on date back or why issue 1 month late. Bombs explode at homes of 2 intending candidates at different places last night. India records 1.94 lakh new COVID-19 cases with 442 deaths in last 24 hours. Omicron cases reach 4,868. With that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a great time.